Okay, my friends, this is going to be fun. As you know, I have giants, and I have had them DNA certified and everything. And I have one right here on my property that has a fingertip from here to here that's 36 inches long. I figure it's about 200 feet tall. That would make it. This is some kind of a serpent. It was in this lake, Lake Okopogo. I guess it's the Okopogo. I don't know. They're going to play it, and you can listen to it. This is the Science Channel. And they're from the Discovery Network. Absolutely fabulous research they're doing. They are more advanced than any other research facility on the planet. They are coming up with evidence to support things that they show. And they're not right in a lot of cases, but that's okay. We need to look at the stuff and discover it and understand what it is. This, however, watch. This thing here is 120 feet long, and it was swishing through the water. It wasn't just sitting here. Look, see it? Look at that thing. All right, so we got a lot of thinking to do, and I have been doing a lot of thinking, so stay with me, we'll think. And I'm going to play this so you can see the whole thing. But that's kind of scary. And they've known about this thing. That's the key. Science dismisses everything.
Family head to the lake.
Yeah, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 30 degrees Celsius. The water was like glass.
Jim's son paddleboards when something horrific emerges from the water.
All of a sudden I just heard the swooshing sound of something, and I thought my son was just on his paddleboard, and something went right behind him.
A huge and menacing presence is in the water just feet away.
Eventually my son turns, and he actually sees a flipper coming out of the water and smash down in the water. And of course he starts booking it back on his paddleboard again.
His son just manages to get away, but Jim will never forget the vision of the creature, estimated at 120 feet long.
The underside of it was like white, and then the outside was dark.
Scientists are at a loss to explain what Jim saw.
It's like 1, 2, 3, like 7 fins, and you can see something coming right up out of the water. I mean, it's so flat. There's no way this is the wind or a log.
The first thought is, what is that? And then the second thought is that kid in danger?
This huge lake stretching 80 miles dates back to the Ice Age, and the oldest known inhabitants are the Sayux people, who have inhabited the lake shore for many thousands of years. Their descendants, the West Bank First Nation, have long talked about the lake being home to a giant creature.
Ogopogo exists in our stories, and we have a word for him. If he wasn't real and he didn't exist, we wouldn't have a word for him. We call it Nhacha'ik. It means the sacred one of the water.
They believe in Nhacha'ik is not a normal animal. He is a kind of animal god.
Because he's so sacred, he doesn't show himself to just anybody. When you see things from another realm, it's a blessing.
Local historian Bill Stachek believes the creature is a real animal, unknown to science.
When I first moved to Kelowna a number of years ago, I was pretty skeptical about something being in the lake. But I had a sighting off the bridge in 1978.
He took a photograph of what he believes is the creature's head.
It was taken at 130 meters. Looking at it, you can actually see an eye and you can see the mouth here. It was ironic all the time I've spent on boats that here I'm sitting on my patio and I get a picture. We believe it is a predator. We believe that it feeds on fish. There's even been sightings that it could take a duck from the top of the water.
Local scientist Raphael Nowick grew up around the lake and is determined to get to the bottom of what is in its depths.
I've always had a natural curiosity for wanting to explore and learn more about Oakland Lake, especially because of its immense size and the fact that it has never been fully explored. And along with that, obviously, comes the topic of Ogopogo.
He's heading to an area where a number of sightings have been made.
Okay, so we're here at Squally Point, where there are several underwater cave formations known to exist. So we're going to take a look at those and see this is one of the habitat that Ogopogo may live in.
Nowick launches a remotely operated underwater vehicle.
Here we go.
to explore the lake's cave-like formations.
Just approaching what looks like a cave feature here. So this is a potential habitat. A large creature or an unknown creature may be able to hide in. A few years ago, I was doing an underwater investigation, and I came across some interesting formations on the bottom sediment, which looked like a pattern of footprints. The footprints suggest that there may be an ambush predator that may walk along the lake floor and then push off, creating those indentations in the lake sediment.
Large footprints on the lake floor seem bizarre, but similar giant dinosaur footprints were found in the mountains of Morrison, Colorado, where there was once a prehistoric sea.
Scientists are still discovering on a yearly basis new species on the planet that have not been known about before, and I'm just open to exploring this mystery.
Are these lake monsters Jurassic throwbacks?
They've been around since before the dinosaurs. They look like they belong with the dinosaurs.
If you want to see a gigantic serpent, which I believe is a gigantic dragon, here it is right here. And it's attacking this gigantic fish. It attacked its fin and ate into its vital flesh. Alright, that is the giant fish. You got Google Earth, you can come up here and look at it. This all ran across here when all that ran out into the ocean here. This ran out all over here. This whole thing drained. It was the Libyan Ocean. It was recorded in ancient maps and so forth. And this is recorded too. It shows the dragon attacking the fish. And here's the dragon's head. And his neck and throat and everything that runs down, the little flashy looking fluty stuff that goes down their necks. Now, he spit this stuff out, which is this toxic, nasty, ugly, vile, nasty, killer dragon spit. I don't know what you call it, but I wouldn't want that on me. But it got on the fish. He spit it right down, shoo, right down here. Wow. He almost got away from me. He spit it on the fish, tried to kill the fish. It certainly hurt him. I would think maybe it did kill him. I don't know. They're both dead laying here. And they haven't been there that long. They're on the surface of the earth, and this is the runoff of a dead, decaying body. I studied this extremely well. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. This is the dragon throat. That's the throat of a dragon. That's this fluty little flashy stuff. And there's his back and his scales and coming down. Now, these are all dragon scales. Take your time. Come up here and look at this. Don't just say, "Oh, the guy's crazy." And this is the problem with academia. They refuse to look at stuff because they can't deny it. It's undeniable. The only thing you can do is just dismiss it by not looking. You see these little chunks, chunk. That's so his neck can bend like this. Otherwise, it would be just one big solid, unbendable thing. Those are hinges. And here's his neck running all the way down, and somebody cut his neck right here, and that's where he bled out in the desert. And there is ancient text that says, God or somebody will cut his throat with a great and mighty sword. And you'd have to have a hell of a great and mighty sword to cut that, because this is the body, these are the legs, and this creature runs all the way down, really out to here, but we can see the tail very clearly here. And the same thing, the bodily fluids running off the tail. There's the dragon scales. And that's just the size of the thing. It's a big red dragon, they called it. And this is all recorded. There's coins that show this. They show a dragon and they show a fish. This was not completely lost in history. It's been, since we've been enlightened and told all this is nonsense, well, this is what we get. Now people are coming around. Life is going to change, and it should, because I don't know what eternity holds, but I sure as hell would like to know what reality holds, and then I can make my own determination about eternity. Because right now, I have no idea, absolutely none, zero. Absolutely everything I found was wrong. Not a single word I was told was right. So what do I do now? I got a lot of thinking to do, my friend. And you do too. I don't care. Maybe you don't care. And if you don't care, I don't care. But I care about me. That's who I care about, and that's all I really care about now. I got to be honest with you. I've done my job. Put this stuff out. Now it's up to you. And if you don't start talking to other people, you didn't do your job. That's what your job is. Your job is to see these things and then show them to others as a test. That's their test. They pass, they fail. This case is closed for you. It's up to them. Just like it's up to you for me. I don't. At this point, you've seen what I had to show. Well, this is like a drop in a bucket. I showed everything. This is just a dragon and giant fish. I got giants all over. I got dragons all over. We got bodies eroding because the entire earth is completely covered with creatures and made of creatures. And Jesus Christ said that. He said, the earth is a body and the earth is covered with corpses. Look it up in the Gospel of Thomas. I think it's 56 and 80.